Hi friends, it is Saturday night. What is today? October 19th, and I want to start a new reading vlog. We kind of had a chill day today. Work has been super busy, and also getting used to Remy not being here has been an adjustment for all. Someone has been super cranky, which is understandable. I've had Hopper for 14 years. I had Remy for 8. So Hopper and Remy were really close. And Mabel and Remy had a year together, and I'm not sure how much exposure Mabel had to other dogs. And I got her from the shelter a year ago. So Remy was teaching her how to be a dog's dog. And now she's really kind of looking around for her lead. So like I said, we're all kind of settling in. And me, it's just grief. For me, it's just a lot of fatigue, I've had an increase in pain levels. And I think, honestly, it's just since Remy was diagnosed with cancer, and it's aggressive, and it's the same cancer that my cat died of, I was just like this, in a stressed position for 6 weeks. And yeah, I think my body just needs kind of as much rest as I can give it, which, work being busy isn't helpful. And this next week coming up, I've got a big meeting on Tuesday, a big meeting on Thursday. I think that's pretty much it. I have to do some filming tomorrow. So tomorrow's Sunday for books. So we're starting the reading vlog. I said that a while ago. I mentioned in some of the library books I got that I want to see if I can scare myself. Because why not? It's spooky season. Why not, right? So we're gonna read books. Actually had abandoned the plan of doing a vlog to scare myself, just because, I don't know, I just did. The books I'm gonna read. The first book I want to read is The Haunting at Bonaventure Circle by Jamie Jo Wright. This book is for my book club that I believe is meeting a week from Monday. And it's not a skinny book by any means. It is 380, yeah, just over 380 pages. So for me, that's, a pretty good chunk book, a pretty good size book. This is, there's 2 different timelines. In 1928, there's a circus that has become a refuge for many, but Pippa is kind of rejected from the circus as a baby, and is no longer content to leave the reason for that rejection unquestioned. She receives mysterious messages from someone called the Watchman. She's determined to find him and the connection to her birth. As her search leads her to a man seeking justice for his murdered sister and evidence that a serial killer has been haunting the circus train, she must decide if uncovering her roots is worth putting herself directly in the path of the killer. And then the present day timeline is a realtor who has kind of bought, I think it's her uncle, has bought the old circus train depot, and she kind of is looking whether they should preserve it or tear it down. And so she gets into the history of it. I already read the first 2 chapters, and it goes back and forth. So we had, the first chapter was Pippa's timeline back in the 20s, and then the second, the present day, they just say the present day, which this came out recently. It's one of her more recent releases. This came out in 2020. I thought it was more recent than that. But anyway, that's still pretty recent. The present day chapter kind of gave me a little scare. Going into dark places, you know, dropping the flashlight kind of things. So I'm hopeful about this one. I've read Jamie Jo Wright. I've tried one other book of hers. All I can remember is Foster Hill. I'll put the name below. And honestly, I just couldn't get into it, and it could have been where I was at the time. The next book, so I'm also listening on audiobook to The Good House by Tanana Reeve Dew. And I started listening to that, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit too, just because it's a situation of like a mob at the door. If anyone's listening, read it or listened to the audiobook, just the beginning part is like that. So that's kind of, those two are the ones I have going right now. I also hope to get to, this cover's hard to see, but The Girl freaks me out a little bit. And this is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I've read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. I think I liked it. I have very little memory of it, so that might need to be revisited. But I was looking at a list of like top horror books or something like that. And this Hill House was on that. So, and it was also on my shelves, so that worked. We'll try it and see. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Our super fun Saturday night, doing laundry and just chilling out, really. So this vlog will be about 2 weeks-ish. So I'm gonna go read, and I'll see you soon. Looking back over my video footage for this vlog, because technically I am almost a week into this vlog, and the only thing I have is B-roll and my intro into it. I thought I had done more clips, and I think what happened was I was clearing out some stuff on my phone, because I shoot on my phone, and wanted to clear out to free up some storage. And I think I somehow got rid of some of the footage, but it wasn't a lot because I haven't been reading much. It is Thursday, October 24th. The cat's behind me. And it's been a very busy week with work. I had 2 big meetings, one of which I was hosting and presenting in. It was a virtual meeting. I have agreed to do one event on Saturday, which is an adoption event for the rescue I used to run. I'm really not looking to get another dog. I've always had a beagle since I was in my 20s, and it's weird not having one. And I've always had multiple dogs because I got involved with animal rescue when I was in my 20s, and yeah, you just, as an animal rescuer, you just end up with more dogs than you intended. I am still reading The Haunting at Bonaventure Circle by Jamie Jo Wright. I'm almost done. Well, I'm more than halfway, put it that way. I am not loving this book. It is about, it's 2 different timelines. So the 1920s is Pippa and the Bonaventure Circus. There's an elephant born that was kind of rejected by the mother and needs some support to live, some human intervention support to live. And Pippa is the daughter of the circus owner, and her fiance is, I guess, taking over the circus for the father. Then there's the circus workers who are caring for the elephant. And there's also a couple different characters that have sort of some side stories going on. And there is whispers of let me see if it's here. Yeah. Just checking the synopsis to see if it's on there. There's Pippa is getting messages from the Watchman, which we have no idea who he is. And then the present day timeline follows a single mother, Chandler, who is a real estate developer, I guess, or works for her uncle, who's the real estate developer. And they've bought the rundown circus buildings, and she is kind of putting herself into Bluff River, I think is called, the town, to assess the property and determine whether it should be torn down or renovated. And there's mysterious things that are happening, and the 20s storyline is gonna connect to the present day timeline. I've sort of just gotten to the point where we see the connection. A couple of my issues with this book is, first of all, I'm not a big fan of circuses because they would harm animals. That is a storyline through this, is whether or not the circus is taking care of the animals or not. They also would put people with disabilities on display. While the author seems to me to be trying to not put the disabilities on display, and I don't like how it's presented in the present day. The character Chandler, who is the single mom and the real estate agent, she is getting a ride home from the circus buildings, and she is talking with someone from the town, kind of the medium of sorts. She's talking about wanting someone to talk through this. Now, we already know that her best friend has spina bifida and uses a wheelchair. So we already know that. And then in this section, she's saying that her pastor might have touted spiritual warfare. She wasn't sure what Nell would think. The thought of her wheelchair-bound friend made Chandler wish Nell were there right now, grounding her, advising her. Like, there's no point. You've already introduced this character to us and told us that she uses a wheelchair. Things like that, that I'm just like, why are we so focused on? And it's not even just those, the disability issues that I have. It's I guess it's part of more like show me, don't tell me kind of things. Like, they're telling us every little thing, but also telling us things that are just not necessary. And also showing some ableism. And you may say, Michelle, why are you not DNFing this book? This is a book club book, and I would like to be a part of the discussion and talk about some of the things. And so I'm taking notes. I do like some of the things that I've really liked is there's an idea of being treasured versus being loved. And I really do kind of like that theme throughout. The medium, she's a real estate, Lottie is a character in the present day timeline, and she is a medium, kind of senses things. And she talks at one point about a whole spiritual realm beyond explanation. And that just really hit me in a way that I appreciated. So there are good things to talk about with this book, and there are really problems with it too. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this book. I'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll remember to vlog a little bit more and read. I finished The Haunting at Bonaventure Circus. We had a quick Patreon discussion about who all was DNFing this book and who was continuing. And the majority, it seems like, were DNFing it. And I was going to DNF, but I only have like 30 pages left, and I just decided to go ahead and finish it. I did not like this book. For some of the reasons I already mentioned, a lot of focus on the disability and not in a like the thing about people with disabilities, which I consider myself a person with a disability. It like the definition of a disability by the Americans with Disabilities Act is that it substantially limits a major life activity. And for me, it does. It impacts my working, it impacts walking, just two of many. As a person with a disability, once you introduce a character and talk about the fact that they have a disability, you don't need to repeat it. You don't need to give, like, add to the descriptors, like, you know, like Pippa, one of our main characters, the 1920s main character, she, we know, had a limb difference when she was born. And when in the story she runs, the author writes she runs as well as she could or as fast as she could, and then goes into the whole she has a limb difference when we've known from the beginning that she does. So harping on it, as I am harping on this reason why I didn't like it, it's just not needed. It's not. I can go off a lot further on this. Now, the talk of autoimmune disorder. So the woman, the present day Chandler, her character, has an autoimmune disorder that is newly diagnosed and causes seizures. The way that she talks about it, I felt like was a way that felt pretty accurate, as I am someone who was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder as an adult. Chandler doesn't want anyone to know that she has this disorder because she's afraid that people will think she can't do what she did, or that they will take her son away from her. And while those were absolutely thoughts I had myself, those are a form of internalized ableism that I had to work through, where if you're not 100%, you better hide it kind of way of thinking. And that your only value is by how much you produce at work, or how much you earn, or how, you know, what kind of house you live in, or all those different things. There's value in a person's life who has an autoimmune disorder, and it's beyond just what they're physically capable of doing. It's beyond their productivity. There's value in her lived experience. And I think, you know, I did research, the author does have an autoimmune disorder, and I don't know where she's at in her personal journey with that. I've been dealing with it for 15 years, so not that I'm not free of internalized ableism. Parts of it can hit me every day. Yeah. Putting that to the side, if we put the issues that I have with this book, where disability is discussed, I felt like the storylines that all connected was pretty neat and tidy. And the faith elements, because this is a Christian fiction book, supposedly. Yeah, it's considered Christian fiction. It's, they felt out of place to me. They felt a little forced. I just felt like this was, it was a it could have been, it was a great idea, I think. And in the author's note talks about that Jamie Jo Wright grew up around the circus. And so some of what I think she was trying to do was humanize the people that were in the circus, but her view of it was that it was celebrating by people staring at them. And that just doesn't sit well with me. With all that, a couple of the relationships I did like. I liked the relationship between Pippa and Patty, although we could have differentiated their names a little bit because I kept having to go back. When I was reading it, it was because they're both similar lengths, the same number of characters. It was, yeah, I kept having to say, wait, was that Patty or was that Pippa? I could go on forever with this book. I gave it 2 stars. I don't recommend it. It's Friday. I may have mentioned that I was taking today off of work to get some rest. I have just been having a really hard time with rest and sleep and chronic fatigue, flare, and the past 2 days I've had a lot of pain. I slept most of the day, which was good. I thought of things that I could do, and I'm like, no, wait, you took today off to rest. I am going to volunteer at a beagle rescue event tomorrow, so I will get some footage of adorable dogs. I did tell my friend who runs it now that I'm not allowed to leave with a beagle. We're downsizing. That includes the number of animals I have. Not coming home with any. I'm not ready. I miss Remy like crazy. What am I reading right now? It's almost the end of August, and I would like to do a book for Halloween for Storm Reads readathon. And I am just started The Appearing House. This Appearing House by Ali Malineko, where it's a young girl who has a history of cancer, and she is riding her bike in her neighborhood one day, and there's a house where there used to not be a house. And it's the area that she would go to kind of have alone time, because her mom watches her very closely because of her health history, as any mother would. And all of a sudden there's a house in there. That's as far as I've gotten. I haven't gotten very far. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm currently reading, if I can get it, Human Acts by Hong Kong. She just won the Nobel? Yeah, the Nobel Prize. I've never read her before, but so far, this is about Korean history in the 1980s, when the president was assassinated by his second in command. It's a part of history I don't know that much about, so it's interesting, and I like the writing style so far. They're talking about when the bodies are brought in, where they're brought into, and how they're identified, and it's told from the perspective of one of the people that's volunteering to help with the bodies and helping family members find their loved ones. So it's a somber read, but it's interesting for sure. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for a Beagle event. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. I'm about to go run my errands. I need a ramp for Mabel to get in and out of my car. She is not used to being handled, and so there's that factor. She's also 50 pounds, so it's not the best for me to be trying to lift her into the car. And so I put a call out on Facebook to my friends, my Facebook is all animal rescue, so I don't really post it anywhere else because it's pretty much family and animal rescue. But so I put a ask out there because a ramp, a good one, runs a couple $100 and it's just not in the budget right now. And a friend of mine who runs a consignment shop, someone had donated it to her, a ramp to her, and she doesn't sell pet stuff in her store, so she offered it to me. And so we're gonna go pick that up. That's about 30 minutes away. And then that's out of the city. And then we're going to the Beagle event, which is back in the city. So that's 30 minutes back. I am probably going to be listening to Wayward on the way out. I will say that I have been I stayed up late reading Human Acts by Hong Kong. That's the stuff that scares me. Like, this is my vlog of reading books that scare me. And, you know, I've been tending more towards spooky books. But those are the books that scare me. The political, like I said, this book is told from the perspective of different people involved in this one town situation. It's what the town is called, but it's this one boy's life and the people that have intersected it, and they're all kind of spread apart during these riots. That's what's scary to me, the political stuff that can happen in real life. The cover, very beautiful, perfect for the story. If you've read it, you know. I've gone through 2 chapters, and that was like 70 pages, and man, normally books don't make me cry, but this one might be on there, but also scare the crap out of me. But right now on the road, I'm gonna go get a dog ramp. I'm about to shoot a video. I'm looking at the wrong way because I switched my phone. I am about to shoot a video, a book unhaul. Ooh, that would have been funny if that was a book haul. No, it's a book unhaul. But before I do, I wanted to do a little clip on the vlog because it's been a chatty vlog. Not a lot of reading has gotten done, I don't think, but I thought I would do a haul. Not sponsored, but Target, you can sponsor me if you want. I order things from Target, not Amazon. I mean, occasionally I'll order something from Amazon, but it doesn't happen very often. So I order from Target. I get it. Most things I get pretty quickly and actually faster than Amazon. Even I shop at Target more often. I had gotten some food, which that doesn't, like non-perishables. I get my almond milk from them. and some little granola bars and stuff. Anyway, this is just an e.l.f. lipstick. I haven't found one that I like. The ones that I have liked, they're just not cost effective anymore for me. And I don't wear lipstick a lot. When I go out, I'm typically wearing a mask because I am immunocompromised. So if I go in somewhere, I usually wear a mask. So it's pointless to put lipstick on. But now that I'm shooting videos, I thought I would get a little bit darker shade because, let's be real, I'm wearing some, but you can barely tell. I mean, I like the color. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Did I break it? I think I broke it. Nope. Ooh, it's magnetic. That's cool. So that's e.l.f. Cruelty-free brand, and it's my price range. So last year I got my fall candles from, I want to say, probably Dollar Tree. And I just don't go to a Dollar Tree very often, so there's so much packaging. They Target had some of their fall scents on sale online. So, and my food items don't ship unless I have $35 in the thing. So this is a candle that I can't get open. There we go. Oh, I wish you could smell it, but it's a pumpkin scent, vanilla pumpkin. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so that will be my October, November. It did get a little cracked. Oh no, there we go. Okay, so that's my little haul, and now I'm gonna go shoot my unhaul. The post book unhaul video. Look at it. Look at it. I wanted to update the vlog. I haven't updated in a couple of days. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, and I am sick. Most congestion, I think, is allergies. You know, like the ragweed's pretty high, been pretty high. I haven't been reading much. I have had a lot of fatigue, and it's just continuing. Nothing I'm doing is really helping. So reading has been slow. I have been reading Human Acts by Hong Kong. This is devastating and kind of compulsive. Like, I want to know. I have the just urgent need for this to all turn out okay, even though I know it doesn't. I said earlier I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember because I'm not reading synopses these days. I couldn't remember the town or what the situation, the political situation was called, but this is the I'm probably going to butcher this name, the Guantu violent student uprising, I think is what they're calling it. And I mean, I'm sure you can tell from this clip, my brain is just not, it's the Gwangju May Democratic Uprising. In the 90s in Korea, in South Korea, and we follow different, each chapter is a different person in the second person talking to, I haven't really figured out who the you is, but it goes into sexual assault. It goes into torture, brutal torture and death. And it's intense. It's so good as far as writing goes. And it's definitely scary. You know, I started this vlog to read books that scare me, and it's, as I mentioned, political uprisings are pretty scary to me because they're becoming closer to home, and that's what's scary to me. Yeah, nothing else is happening. So it's time to close out the vlog. I accidentally returned the 2 main books that I read during the vlog to the library because I don't really know why. Well, one was due today, and the other one I just was going to the library, so I took it because I had read it. Anyway, I had started this vlog trying to scare myself, and I read my book club book, which was The Haunting at Bonaventure Circus by Jamie Jo Wright. I have ranted about this book, I think, enough in this vlog. It just fell very short for me. I think it was not good from a disability perspective, and I also just felt like the story was just lacking. Like, I just didn't like the story. That I gave 2 stars to. So the next book I read was Human Acts by Hong Kong, who just won the Nobel Prize for Literature. This was the first Hong Kong that I read, and that scared me, honestly. Political uprising, violence, like state-sanctioned violence, that kind of stuff scares me. So that book scared me and created a lot of anxiety in me because we're coming up on a very hot election. So the book was told from different perspectives. It was told in the second person, the you voice, and each character, each chapter was a character, and in different time frames. And there's some brutal scenes of torture, sexual assault, described sexual assault, I should say. I like unconventional formats, and I felt like this was an unconventional format. It's not something that I read regularly. I think the second person doesn't usually work, but this did. This really did. And I thought that it was a short book, and there wasn't anything that felt, oh, this should be cut, or there weren't any slow points. And the whole time you're just trying to figure out how it all fits in to the puzzle, the different time frames, where everyone was during the student uprising in Gwangju. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And the chapter, I think it's the second to last chapter, was from his mother's perspective, and it ripped my heart out. Just ripped my heart out. Yeah, it was pretty intense. I did mention that I was trying to read some audiobooks. One of the audiobooks was The Good House by Tananarive Due. I liked the first chapter. I just, with this flare of my chronic health condition, I could not get into an audiobook. So I will be revisiting The Good House. And the same goes for Wayward by Amelia Hart. I was trying this on audio, and I think part of it was I was feeling kind of sluggish with the Jamie Jo Wright book, but I really needed to get that done for book club. And then when I was reading Human Acts, that's all I wanted to read if I had brain power to read. So Wayward will go back on my shelf. I'm not DNFing it really, because I didn't really get into it. I couldn't, in the audio, there's 3 different perspectives, and like I got to chapter 5 on the audio, I couldn't keep them apart in my head, and that was a me thing. It was definitely Emmy related. Together. I really appreciate you sticking with me through this. It was a little clunky is what I meant to say, little clunky vlog, but I do enjoy vlogging, and you know, this is life with chronic illness. Earlier in the week, I should mention, today is Friday, November 1st, and earlier in the week I was very congested, but I'm feeling a lot better. I think so. I'm just going to tell you what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Ali Malineko's Disappearing House, which I realized in sprints with Leandra, the TBR0. She's the one who recommended this to me, or recommended in a video. Ali Malineko's The Ghost Girl, I think. Was that the one that, is it The Ghost Girl or The Ghost Child? Which my library did not have. And so I got this book out, Disappearing House. And it's about a girl who has a history of cancer. She is 12, I think, and she is coming up on her 5-year anniversary of having been diagnosed with cancer, and that's a milestone. And she's about ready, within the next month, she's gonna hit that 5-year mark, and she's starting to wonder if she's feeling symptoms again. At the same time, there's a house that just appeared where there wasn't one previously, and being kids, the kid group that one of them's her friend, one of them's a bully, one of them's her neighbor. The scene I'm currently in is they are daring each other to go into the house. So we'll see. When I looked up on Goodreads, it is middle grade. It is also listed as horror and thriller. So spooky houses is definitely my jam, and I'm really enjoying this. What have you read? What did you read in October? Did you read anything that scared you? Let me know in the comments below, because again, I don't really know what scares me in books. I'm thankful that you are here, and like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things that I really appreciate. And I will see you soon. Bye.